Hey guys, what's up and welcome back. Today's video is going to be a little try-on style video. Today I'm going to be trying on the Melt Cosmetics Gemini palette. And I am so excited about this. This was limited edition. They brought it back for a limited amount of time. At the time I'm filming this, this is available on meltcosmetics.com. So if this palette looks interesting to you, I would snatch it up. I have used this palette once already, but I primarily used the green side of the palette. So today I want to just try out the other side of the palette, which is the more brown tones and like that mustard tone. There also is that black shade in the palette, which I can be kind of scared to use black shades. I don't use them a ton, but I kind of want to do like a smoky eye. I don't know. We'll see where this goes. If you're interested to have a closer look at this palette, just keep on watching. Okay, so I put my hair back in a little headband. And we're gonna get started. I'm just gonna take the shade Luna and run that in my crease. This is a good crease transition color for my skin tone, and I can pretty much use it with any look I'm wanting to create in this palette. So I really like that. I have used this color when I did the all green look, and it really helps to blend out all the colors that you're going to put on top, just to make sure it all looks blended and cohesive and together pretty much. It doesn't look like there's a harsh upper brow area to like what you put on the lid, if that makes sense. These shadows are pigmented and you do get kick up in the pan, just so you're aware, but they blend really well from, you know, what I used last time, which was the greens, and I did use this. This is not a new color that I'm using in the palette, but how much more can I say about a transition color? I don't know. And I'm just gonna take like a little, it's a blender brush, but it kind of has a, like a point to it, and this is a Morphe M330, if you're curious. Now on that, I'm gonna take the shade Cupcake, and I'm gonna put this one in the outer kind of V of my eye, and then slowly move it into the crease area. And then the lightest amount of pigment I'm putting toward like the inner portion of my eye. I still want a little bit of brown cupcake shade there, but I don't want it to be super pigmented, or as pigmented as it is in the outer V. Then I'm going to take a tiny bit more, just a little bit, just a little boop, just to blend some more in this way. I feel like when I'm talking very low, like it's a secret. I think that's trying to make me not mess up. This is always my worst eye. Like, it's more difficult for me to do my left eye than my right. Does anyone else have that problem? Like, you have one eye that's more difficult to do, or that always turns out a little bit less good than the other? Because that's my left eye for me. And then see how I brought the color too far up in this, on this eye? I just take a separate brush with nothing on it and kind of blend right where I had that little issue. Okay, so that's what that looks like. And now I'm just gonna take the first shade that we took, and I'm just gonna go over the edge of Cupcake with that. So for me, that makes it easier to blend, and it doesn't look as like harsh. And one of my eyes is like more droopy than the other, so sometimes it looks a little off, but I think this looks good so far. Now I'm going to take just more of like a little, I guess, smudge crease brush. And I think I'm going to take the black. I'm scared. And I'm going to like really tap it off. And so I'm going to take that very lightly. I don't have a lot of product on the brush, I don't think. I hope. And I'm just going to kind of place that in the outer V right here to darken that up. So I'm just kind of dragging it almost in the outer corner of my eye. Kind of where I put Cupcake, that brown shade. And I'm just trying to deepen the corner at the moment, just to make it a little more smoky. I just want to use the black and see how it works. I've had trouble with blacks in the past where they either turned out like grayish or they wouldn't blend. So I'd have like a big like splotch of black that it didn't look good, it didn't look cute. So I'm just trying this out, see how it goes. And then after I've been doing that for a while, I'm gonna bring it into the outer crease. And I barely use product, like I had some. I probably tapped in once or twice very lightly into that color. And so I have pigment on there, but it's not too much where it's gonna either fall down my face or just not blend out and not look good. So I actually like that. I think that turned out good. I have hooded eyes, so I tend to bring my colors a little higher, especially on this eye. It droops more than the left. I don't know why, but going into my late 20s, gonna be 27 in November. So maybe it's my age, I don't know. And I always used to make fun of my dad because he had droopy eyelids, like that one side that drooped more than the other, and now I have the same thing. Not as bad, but that's karma. That's karma, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm just gonna do the same thing on the other eye. So now I'm gonna take that first blending brush that we used again and just go along the edges. And I didn't add any product or anything. This is just what's left on the brush, if anything. And again, you're just wanting to blend it just so it doesn't look too harsh. I actually didn't really have that much trouble using that black, which is amazing for me. Black is usually one of the colors I have the most trouble with. So next up for my lid, I'm gonna stay on that side of the palette, the more warm tones, I guess the brown tones. And I'm gonna take the shade Gemini, which is one of the two shimmers in the palette. And I'm gonna take it on just, you know, flat shader brush, but I'm not gonna use it wet. I'm gonna see how it works without any Fix Plus spray. Usually I do use that for shimmers, but I just wanna see how this one works. I'm also not getting a lot of fallout, if any at all, so that's good. I like that. So I'm just gonna take that on my brush and I'm gonna use that kind of in the center to the inner part of my lid. I hope I'm zoomed in enough for you guys to see. It is pretty, it is a nice gold shade, and when I used the Goals shade from the palette, which is the other shimmer, but it's the shimmery green one, I actually put it on full lid and everything without any Fix Plus, and I thought it looked really good and really shiny. This one is not as metallic-y looking as that one was, so I think I am gonna spray my brush with Fix Plus and then go in again with the same shade. So with that, we're going to go back on the lid in the same area. Yeah, see, I feel like that is more impactful and more metallic. And even though you wet your brush, be sure to still tap it off because you don't want fallout. You want to lower the risk of fallout as much as possible. That looks a lot better with a wet brush, I think. If you don't want it as intense, you can definitely, you know, not wet your brush. And you don't have to use Fix Plus either. You can just use water or any other setting spray that you have. Would probably work. So I'm gonna do the other eye. Okay, so the other lid is done. So now I'm wanting to focus on the lower lash line. And I think I'm gonna take that mustard yellow shade, and that is called Lorelei, which, love that name. Shout out to Gilmore Girls, best show ever. So with that shade, I'm just gonna take like a small, fluffy definer kind of a brush. This one's from Sigma, it's the Blending E36. Right in the middle first, and then toward the outer part. And I kind of connect the Lorelei shade with that black shade. And again, I'm not going in with a lot of product, and I am tapping my brush off after I dip into the color, because I don't want to place too much pigment down and not be able to blend it out. And I'm taking it in close to the inner corner, but not exactly in the inner corner because that kind of closes off my eye. Amber alert, flash flood alert, something. That was rude. That was really rude. Excuse me. So I did the same thing on the other eye. This is looking real smoky. I like it. And then going to take a smaller kind of pencil brush, and I'm just gonna mix together Polka Dot, which is that little warmer brown shade, and the black shade. And I'm gonna kind of just put that on the outer corner on the lower lash line. Okay, so since I just wanted to try the browner shades in the palette, that's what I did. Although this look would look really cool with maybe like one of the greens on the lower lash line with like Leo, Fire OG, or Mochi. That would look really cool as well. But since I'm sticking to just the brown side, this is what it looks like. I am going to put some mascara on, blush, highlight, and a lip. And I'll be back to talk about what I think of the palette. Okay, so I put on the rest of my makeup. I am all done now. Today, the shades I used performed just as good as when I used just primarily the green shades. I did use, I think, all the brown colors and also the mustard and the black. So I'm pretty proud of myself right now. I think this palette is overall a unique palette. I don't have anything else like it in my collection. Of course, the browns I would have in another palette, but also having the greens incorporated into it I think was a great idea. I've been wanting to try Melt Cosmetics for a while. First and foremost, this is not a review of the palette. This is more of a try-on video, a first impressions, just because I hadn't used the colors that I used on my eyes today at all. So we are going to come back with an entire review video for you guys, and hopefully Kelsey will be able to join me in that. But today I am very happy with the colors that I did try out, and stay tuned for that full review coming up. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed sitting down with me and seeing my first impressions on this eyeshadow palette. If you do enjoy this channel, please subscribe down below, and I will see you next time. Bye!